Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm your host, Ed Smith. Today we're going to take a look at a 12-team league that's called Double Doink, Kicker Replacement, and this is a shout out to my friend Matt Nagy, who was the coach of the Chicago Bears in his first playoff game that had the Double Doink. And so 2020, that felt like the right name to call something when we were using a kicker to signify the rookie picks, and that's how we chose the rookie draft order by picking kickers in the vet startup draft in those spots. So, thus the name, and that's where it came from, and it stuck, and that's what this league is. It's 1 point PPR, 1.5 for the running back, and 2 points for the tight end. So that's what we have there. 12 starters with 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 4 receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 flex. And then we have 16 bench spots and 6 taxi and 6 IR. So, there's a total of 40 possible players per roster, but really more likely 34 without the IR. And even though it's not 2.5 point PPR for the tight end, I still value the tight end pretty highly in a league like this with 2 tight ends starting in a 12-team league. And so our tight end room, we actually have 3 that I think are quality. We'll see where Engram ends up, because that's going to play a role. But we have Pitts, Harrison Bryant, and Engram at the tight end room. So be looking to get off of Engram when he signs that contract, wherever he goes as a free agent, just because we don't like the age, even though he does catch things. And maybe he's a guy that we have to hold until the season gets going, until he has that big game. And he typically does have those games. He just gets hurt a lot, and so we'll try to get off of him when the value is high. The quarterback room here, I was looking at where I drafted, and I drafted out of the 12 spot, and I have a philosophy that I'm not sure if it works. I've been doing it, and as I look at this team, I'm not sure that it did work out of the 12 spot of waiting for 10 quarterbacks to come off the board and then taking 2 quick. I did that here, and I got quarterback 14 and 15, but both of them stink. And so, they're out of the league. Now, maybe the focus was too much on age here, so that may play a role, is that I was looking at young guys and bypassing guys like Jimmy G and Matt Stafford that were going to be older and still playing. But the quarterback room we're left with right now is Jordan Love, Drew Lock, Brandon Allen, Kellen Mond, and Tyrod Taylor. And so we may have 0 quarterbacks with a 2 starting quarterback league here. And so that tells me that, we've had 2 11th place finishes in a row, and we're well on our way for a third 11th place finish, to be honest with you. And so we're going to grab quarterbacks fast and furious unless we can, turn some of our elder running backs into quarterbacks, as well. So we may look to push out some of the running backs and just try to get some what I would call lower end quarterbacks, or maybe some bridge quarterbacks, Jimmy G types, and just try to go get him. And as we are breaking down this team, I'll probably send out some trade offers in this league today, and which will happen before actually this league posts. And I'll try to get to work on this quarterback room, because I'm very unhappy with it. And yet it's the 3rd year in existence, and so the 3rd year in existence, my blueprint says we got to start winning. And I'm looking at the running back room, and I'm saying, geez, they're old, and we need to really do something about it. And I want some flexibility with that 2nd overall pick to either go best available player and not feel like it's got to be a quarterback if that's not the player that's there. So because I do draft based on the draft, my draft list, not based on need, because I can always think that you need to draft if you draft on need, and so you're always going to need a draft. So the quarterback room is I'm very disappointed in, so we're going to really try to go do some things there when we get off the air here live, and try to have that fixed up well before this video even hits the scene. The running back room, there's youth, and then there's elder statesmen. So we've got Cam Akers, which is 22 years old, so we've got some youth. But then we've got Kareem Hunt and Henderson from the Rams, Carson. So those are guys we got to get off of. Hunt, Henderson, Carson, got to get off of all 3 of them, or else win with them. So, got to move some combination of them to win. and get off of them so that we have some flexibility with what we're trying to do with this team to get to the next level. And just likewise with Ingram, got to get off of him, if we're not going to win, and pretty soon. Then we have Benjamin, Jarrett Patterson, Sermon, and Sargent. So you guys get the idea. I mean, I just have tons of Jarrett Patterson, Benjamin, and Sermon, Sargent shares, out there, and so those are placeholders, if you will, until we see what their roles will be with the respective teams. And then we either have a running back or we don't, and then we move on from them and build some draft capital for future years. When we look at the receiver room, we do start four here, so I don't know that we have four starters, and so that's something we're gonna have to look to address in the draft. And we have AJ Brown, we have Hollywood Brown, we have Pittman, we have Tim Patrick, we have Slayton, Mims, Cephas, Swain, and Amari Rogers and Denami Brown. So there is some players there that I have high hopes for, the young players. And with Hollywood and Pittman and AJ Brown, I feel like we have three, and we can mix in Tim Patrick a little bit, but we need some other people to step up, and really would like one more stud, if you will, and because we got to float some into the flex as well. And so, what we're going to really concentrate on is trading some of the depth that we have at running back, to try to get some quarterbacks and try to coach some of those people in with those older running backs, see if we can, pull out a quarterback. Looking at the draft, we have pick number 2 overall, and then in the second round we actually have 4 picks, which all end up in the top 20 with the 13, the 17, the 18, and the 19. And so there we should be able to hit that receiver room pretty hard at the tail end of the second round and really add to that. So, I may look to move on from somebody that brings some appeal, like a Pittman or a Hollywood here, if again we can get a quarterback that'll start, and then we'll just count on that with some of those your receivers will get some help, and with those picks. And then we have number 31 in the third round, and we have 37, 38 in the fourth round, 50 in the fifth round, and 62 in the sixth round. So do have some late picks there to throw some darts, but really going to be building that quarterback room. So when we come back after the draft, I would expect that you'll see a totally different quarterback room. Of all the teams that we've outlined, I honestly will tell you that I expect this team so far, and I think we've been through almost 20 now, I would expect that this team will have a different look once we get to the point of draft season, just the rookie draft season. As I will say, as I went through this team, I'm just unhappy with where it is, and we'll do something about it. I mean, I guess we want to be not all talk and no action. Having said that, it's still important when we get teams like this where we're just frustrated with them that we don't make any panic sells. And I guess I bring that up to say that, emotion runs high, and I'm kind of looking at this team saying it's an embarrassment sort of for the portfolio, but they can't all be good either. And so I guess as I'm spitfiring to myself there a little bit that, hey, they're not all going to be good. You're going to have some loss leader teams, and maybe this is just one of them, so don't panic sell. If the deal isn't there, don't make the deal. And but I'm going to be more aggressive with sending out offers here, and maybe sending out offers that I expect to get accepted. Maybe this league will get some better deals out of me, if you will, just so that I can kind of create some sort of frenzy to accomplish some things, here in the upcoming off season, and really build to that quarterback room. So that's what we're looking to do here, and we would love to hear your feedback. Tell me that this team stinks. I'm sure you're gonna, because it does. And tell me what your ideas are of what I should do here. I don't ask a whole lot of opinions. I guess maybe I don't want them. I don't know. But I'd be interested in opinions here with who you think I should take, and how you think I should build this team. And hit that like button. Thank you very much for your time. I mean, I know it's important and a valuable piece. And hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell, and then leave me your comments. And if you do have questions, I do break those down each and every Sunday morning. I break down all the questions from the week, and I would love to go over some of those and detail them as well as we go. So want to thank you until next time for joining the Fantasy Football Clown Show. I'm your host, Ed Smith.